Welcome, everybody. This is Mental Health Awareness with Jaws Coffee Chat. Today is April 1st. No fooling, actually. Um, Again, another episode of Jaws Coffee Chat with Jennifer A. Whitaker. Today, we are going to be talking about some new and exciting things coming up in 2024. So, we always want to give a special shout out and special thanks to some great folks for playing our shows on their platforms. Zach Clayton of the PACT channel, Jay Stoyan of the Disability channel, and Lawrence Wingate of Wingate Studios. We definitely appreciate their support and participation. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our social media pages, our groups, and YouTube channels, or wherever it is you came to find out about us today. So, Jennifer, what's all this exciting news you've got coming?
It is a whole handful of new revelations. A lot of people had said, they've told me in this past weekend more than any other time, that 2024 was supposed to be a fresh start, a new start for a lot of people. Now, I don't remember that, but apparently a lot of people who have been in my social circle or my network for at least a couple years, 3 years maybe, but basically since the pandemic, I've said this, it was a talk in 2023 that everybody was believing that 2024 would be a new start to life, whether it's a health situation, it's a business, it's something. So yesterday, that was Easter of 2024, I, as a Christian, prayed that God would tell me what is the fresh start He wants me to do, to launch. And I went through this long period of hearing the Lord speak to tell me basically what I'm going to read to you, that is the overall layout of what this new ongoing conference series will be about. There'll be multiple topics where our first conference will last 2 years, where it's multiple events online, on Zoom, possibly in partnership with Jackie Bailey, that already has different public speaking events. But definitely you will find this on 10times.com, Eventbrite, jawscoffeechat.com, and a lot of other places where we post our different events, conferences, and other highlights that we have going on. We'll figure out the prices and then announce on another episode of Mental Health Awareness what will be the ticket prices. However, we are looking for recruiting people who want to be not just at the show, but even on our team, to get paid to refer listeners to attend this conference, to spread the word. And this
Kind of like an affiliate?
Yes, an affiliate, but it's basically a referral compensation. So each time they refer somebody, it's a certain amount that they will be paid, and it's a portion of what is the ticket price they give. So I would give them what's the bare minimal that's break even, meaning if they sell it at that price, they make nothing, but we get 100%. Anything above that price is 50-50 split. So let's say, for example, that the minimal price was $55. So if they decide to sell it for $105, that was a $50 markup. So $25 goes to them for doing it and $25 to the company. And that will help fund us to have ongoing engagements that will create ongoing referral profit split 50-50 jobs for people who love to talk, who love to tell people about stuff, and who already spread the news of things they like and support. Like, how many times have you heard me talk about Starbucks? Okay, why don't they pay me a referral fee? then a lot of us will have jobs, right?
Right.
So that's kind of what we're doing. But when they spread the word, as long as we have a way to know that that referral person is the one that spread it, they will get 50% of whatever they sell the ticket at, that is the markup or amount of dollars above the minimal price we give, that's the break even. So we're looking for people to email us or go on our website, um, to even call or text us. If you'll put our website in my email in the YouTube posting, the
Yep.
comments,
Yep.
and basically the sooner we get these people, the sooner it'll start to spread, and the sooner I can actually mark a date of the speaking engagement, this conference. But let's get down to what is the topic. Um, this is going to be international. We are going to basically have what's called international conferences that are ongoing, but we have 5 or 6 different topics. So I'm going to read to you the overall layout of what will be the first one, that has to do with what many people may notice on our show, is how since October of 2023, you probably look at me and look at the past videos and they're like, what is she doing that's losing all that weight? I mean, EJ, you've probably seen me practically shrink in this spot, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people are curious about that. As a Christian, I have asked God, does He want me to write a book about it? Because I just can't get myself to do it. So then God revealed to me on Easter, in a 4-hour period, what I'm about to read is ultimately the process I went through to start all this shrinking as a weight shrink, health shrink process, and how I did it. So the first series is going to be 2 years from start to finish. I will walk them through what I have done in the last 2 years and steps that are still ahead of me where I am, but are part of the plan that I, as an educator, designed for myself and other people are curious about. So now let's really dive in. I'm going to create a conference. It will be on 10 times, and there will be tickets to the conference. I will make a series about shrink your waistline with multiple dates over a course of 6 months, walking the audience through a 2-year-long journey to eating healthy, building muscles, becoming physically active, using their resources, even finding resources, and knowing what those resources are, taking supplements to help build more muscles, energy drinks, and food choices best to increase the weight transition. It's not weight loss, it's a weight transition from the weight we don't want to muscles. Adjusting schedules to allow regular times best fit in your personal schedule for working out, increasing protein intake, limiting the amount of time you are allowed to eat within the hours of the day, using supplements to reduce the appetite, and to eat one meal with 1 to 2 one-serving size nutrition bars and supplements with a meal replacement shake high in protein to engage in more muscles to build as a result of each workout. Then here's what none of the others have: reducing stress through minimalist studies, reading, and using a link that we will put on Jaws Coffee Chat and jennsbooksandmore.com to read through this book with us, with me as the leader, as I speak on my site. What do I learn? And I want you to read the chapters as I tell you which ones to read at the start of the series and each speaking event in the conference, there will be a chapter you're to read, and we're going to work through that together to minimize our stress. Get rid of the clutter, get rid of the things we don't need in life. So many of us have learned the modern day way to make more money, to be successful, with just shoving so much in our schedule, shoving so much in our place where we live, apartment, house, anything but our home, shoving so much of this, spending so much on that. And how many times does it uncover to the actual psychology of why we do these things? And what problem are we trying to fix when we go buying that stuff? When we go keeping stuff to store it, what is the problem? That's what we're going to get down to. Each of us have some kind of underlying reason we feel and believe we need things that we do not really need and are actually way we are creating more stress for ourselves. And what does stress create? A weight problem, high cortisol. Well, but these are ways you can, as an individual, wherever you are in the world, to limit your stress, reduce it, and this whole process will be uncovering the psychology, finding out what is your personal psychology that's why you do things you really should not and would not really want to do. Like, let's say, going in debt. Like, for example, I have a family member. She was saying yesterday she went $750 over her Amazon credit card's limit. And we're going, what in the world? Why did you go over your own limit, destroy your own credit to buy so much stuff that they have a 5-bedroom house with a 3-car garage stuffed floor to ceiling with stuff, in addition to a 4,000 square foot home filled with stuff for only 2 people to reside there? It sounds obnoxious, right? So
But very
they
typical.
are very typical. That's it. And because that is typical, and many times they get to that point and they say, we need a larger home, right? So at first it feels great because the larger home fits the stuff without feeling or looking cluttered. But what happens next? They don't get to the underlying problems. They keep shopping, which clutters it and clutters it. Which clutters and clutters it. And then we come to the point of, why am I doing this? And I won't always be able to work. So when you get to the point where you're a senior and you're looking at retirement, you're like, I need to downsize, but what am I going to do with all this stuff that I built up in excess over how many years of your working career that you build it up, upsize your home, build it up, upsize your home. And if it never gets to you through your working years, it's going to catch up to you when you're at the point of retirement and you're going, now that I have all these health problems and I can't lift heavy stuff, how am I going to go through all this stuff to reduce my home to whatever size that I can manage with my new limitations? Some of us get disabled and we have to reach that point earlier than we really want or planned. But we all reach that point, whether it's retirement or it's becoming disabled earlier. We still get to the point of, I got all this excess and what am I going to do with it now that I'm at a point I can't deal with it? So let's look in this series that's called Shrink Your Waistline to find ways to get healthy, including the minimizing stuff and de-stressing our lives, decluttering our lives, to get healthy by both removing things from our life we don't need, and the idea of your body mind and soul being healthier. Kind of leaves you wondering, right?
Yeah.
So, how many people actually considered that this stress they are doing by accumulating a lot of stuff is actually part of the American issue and it's not 100% to blame on fast food or bakeries and all these other businesses popping up that's unhealthy, but we want to buy and eat. It's not and that's the idea of it's blaming other people for their problem. And that goes back to the psychology of, in most cases, we are responsible for our own problems. Whether it's we didn't do the preventive or we did the preventive, it failed. But in the end, whichever route that was, we never stopped to say, what can I do about it now that I'm at this point? How can I get myself to a better state, health, mind, soul, than I am at this point? What is within my control? And not to blame on the economy that's got such great eateries. They're unhealthy, but they're delicious and affordable. Okay, let's go back. So we are in control of our own lives, especially those in America, Canada, and other places that have the freedom. And our modern day first world countries, as opposed to third world countries, could be a little bit different situation, right? But those of us who are in Canada, the US, Europe, and other first world countries, we have more control than the others do. Yet, aren't we typically the ones that have the worst weight problems and other issues related to unhealthy choices? They don't tell us what to eat, so we choose the unhealthy. And so ultimately, that goes down to we have responsibility ourselves in factors related to our health. If we have freedom and we're the ones that have the biggest problem, we are responsible for our own issue. Weight, weakness, mental health, because we may not choose to get the condition, but we did say get diabetes because we chose not to care about how healthy we ate. And often, I can tell you, especially in the South, and you may know this too, EJ, with North Carolina, right? We want that fried chicken. And we believe it's because we're from the South and that's what we were trained to eat. But there's so many other options in America. Like we have Mediterranean restaurants that have so much vegan stuff, like hummus, grilled vegetables, this mix of like quinoa with cucumbers and some other kinds of salads. Well, we can go there just as easily as we can go to Taco Bell or McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
And usually those are the places that have the somewhere around the same price, maybe a little bit more, but still a lot healthier food. And often that food is a lot healthier by choice, as well as the fact it's not processed in like, you know how we talk about McDonald's, we don't even know what we're putting in our belly. Well, we know when we're eating an avocado, we know when we're eating hummus, we know what we're putting in. But we say it's the problem is fast food. Well, when is it actually the problem is our own choice of what to do with the funds we have through our job or disability income or Social Security or any other source of income? So that's where this goes with the whole series that will take 2 years to complete, called Shrink Your Waistline. It's not weight loss, it's shrinkage, weight transition. Change what is the source of your weight. Muscle weighs more than fat. So that's what most people don't realize when they don't lose weight, yet they're doing different things that doctors and other providers or family members who are in the health field tell them to do and not do. They obey it, but they get stuck because they look at numbers. And how many times have we said when it comes to business or the economy or so many factors of life, numbers aren't everything. And that's what I've come to find. Because looking at the last so many shows, y'all could look at it, my size has shrunk, but my weight hasn't changed. Suspense. Okay. So that's the first one. It's going to take 2 years. Our following series that will be after that 2-year process of going more in depth of what I just basically gave you an overall spill of, will be healthcare must be available equally, regardless of job, trade, abled or disabled. We all deserve equal access to healthcare. Independence for the least expected. Psychogenic non-epileptic seizures, understanding, and the road to recovery together. I have it, but we're going to go through this together. It's a journey. I got the book, I got the text, I have the knowledge. Now let's get together because this is an issue that has no treatments. It's a new seizure disorder that is not epilepsy, but causes seizures. And there's no medication, no surgery, nothing to do about it. But I got a road to recovery that we're going to do together. And I'm going to use my journey as examples for the people in the audience that are listening to follow along like we do in tutoring and education and other things I've done in my career. We have to lay the roadmap for other people. We have to use our own story to give details and ideas of what these things could mean or entail to inspire others to take these actions if they or someone they know or loves has psychogenic non-epileptic seizures. Further along, once we go through the give or take 5 different topics in different 6-month series conferences, one building on another, we will then flip around. So if the first is 2 years, then we got 1, 2, 3 of them that will be 6 months. So 18 months, 2 years. You better stay in check with us for the next 5 years. And then if you miss out, we'll do a turnaround. So when the 6th month of the 4th year away from now comes, we'll do a repeat and start this whole thing over. So you have to hang in for 5 years to get all of it. Cool. And when we start over, there will be changes because we've all seen whether it's the pandemic, it was a Great Recession, it was a financial crisis. A lot happens in just a matter of a year. 5 years later, we got a whole new start because guess what? There's been this or that point in history of some kind of event that was a new part of history that affected businesses, the economy, health, the general population in some way or another happens, and we have to change the course of business. And in 5 years, imagine how health information will be known, medical research, and all kinds of other sources of knowledge that relate to these. A lot changes in the course of 5 years. So when we get back to the first one, that is about 4.5 to 5 years away from now, the shrink your waistline will be different. You have another chance. It'll be an updated version that will have changed through the course of what is modern day considered the future, but by then would be history between the first 2 years long version of it that goes very in depth, and the second time around that's 6 months, and you gotta kind of be more attendant and be on the watch because it'll be crammed in 6 months each of these after we shrink our waistline for 2 years. So you don't get much of a warning. Gotta get in, gotta get now. This is the start. And once we get going, we won't be able to stop because then everybody's going to fall behind. You can come in late, get your ticket after we've started, come in later on with being a referral source and helping get referrals and being the connection with us, being part of our team. Yeah, those you can join in anytime. Buying the ticket or being the referral person that helps get people in the audience. But however you want to be involved, you can join at any time. It's just we won't be able to step back and say, hey, here's everything you missed, while everybody who's been there the whole time is bored out of their mind. But you can pick up from whenever you join. Welcome to the new
All right.
Jaws Coffee Chat for 2024. Be on the lookout. Be ready.
Lots of good stuff coming up. That's amazing. Good job. All right. Well, I think that about does it for today. Again, we greatly appreciate those that are replaying our shows on their platform. Zach Clayton of the PAC channel, Jay Stoyan of the Disability channel, and Lawrence Wingate of Wingate Studios. We really appreciate their help and their participation and support. So again, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to all the different YouTube channels and social media pages for the Disability channel, PAC channel, Wingate Studios, and of course, Jaws Coffee Chat and Jen's Books and More. This has been Mental Health Awareness as we come to you each Monday, 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern Time. So just take care of yourselves, stay healthy. Check out our website, jennsbooksandmore.com. That's JENNS, books and more, all spelled out, .com. To see about all the new information coming up and all the different podcasts we have. And until next time, next Monday, we hope you are productive and have an enjoyable week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.